For today, we'll be using two things. We'll be trying to use the water observation from space available on D2Earth maps to monitor to see the trend of water in one big ecosystem of Uganda. For those who are not familiar with Uganda, this will be, I should turn off my camera to save my bandwidth. This will be Lake Kyoga in the western part of Uganda. And this is a swampy lake, and it's a mesotrophic lake. It has a very large wetland complex around. And, you know, at its inlet, we have a Jinja hydropower plant, and also the outlet goes toward the north as the Nile to meet water from Lake Albert. And we can see how Digital Africa data could help us to monitor this lake and surrounding wetlands, even ecosystems around. So, sorry, my map is still in French. I should turn it back to English before I start. Yeah, I can go to language and put it in English, and I can upload some of our data sets from the Africa. We start by surface water, and we put all-time surface water. It might take longer to load depending upon my internet connectivity, but it was loading well a few minutes ago. Oh, please be patient. In 2 days, everything will be able to upload it. Oh, could not be added. So sorry, Ken. Sorry, I'm going to switch to another internet connectivity.
No problem. It happens sometimes when you're doing a demo.
Yes, please be patient. I could switch from my office.
Or as you switch, I can try also to show from this side, then you can direct us.
Yes,
no problem.
Possible.
Okay, let me just share this one. No pressure. No worry of the Titanic.
Okay, well.
Yeah, at least now you are directing us to this wonderful Lake Kyoga.
Yes, Ken.
And you wanted to add water from
water from space.
Okay. And
yes, all-time water.
Now they can see the change over these many years.
Yes.
As you change your internet.
Yeah. Yes, I actually, my idea was to show everyone that through the Africa dataset, we can see how the Lake Kyoga water body could be data from the Africa datasets, and also to see we have some in reddish, we have not frequent water, especially swamps around, but in blue, we are confident enough those are water bodies, either rivers or lake. And from this, we don't need to print all the map. We can go to the story map. You can go to the story. That's loading, Ken. Yes, you can write, or you can blow your screen. No, you can write XLS. You can even put some maybe some comments down there. You can write some comments and you can share. Yes, you can write Lect Yoga on the title or text and over, yes, over what you want. Oh, what so today? Yes, I can see that Ken shared everything through the. Did you share the storyline, Ken?
Yes, I've sent it in the chat. And how is
Yes.
your internet now from your side?
Yeah, let me check. Let me go back and see.
Yeah, so that you
Where
can
it is.
continue.
Yes. Please be patient. It take like 1 week. Yes. A moment, please. So I could also hear a guest of honor in your background, Ken. It's very interesting.
Yes.
My internet is this.
Okay, no problem. I was attending to this master behind me in this call, so you might have new participants crying, but he'll be fine. So that was the water extent. So that you are showing the, the maps, and
yes, actually, yes.
And there was another data sets we have also if you want to show the changes between time. So I believe this
is actually that was the first demo. Now you can see I'm there, so I'm there actually. I have YouTube. I can continue now. Now my network was restored.
Oh, okay, cool, good, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I can share my screen.
Yes, please.
With everybody. Yes. So as you can see on my screen, now what Kenny has been doing, I can access it and I can see the storyline behind this. Is it Kiyago or Kiyoga? So it's Kiyoga in Uganda. And also he could write some stories in a blue wrote, maybe they are permanent water and so on, put a description and share immediately with the audience without printing. Imagine you are working with your boss somewhere, you are zooming on an area of interest of a project, then you could share immediately with the whole group via social media or email and so on without wasting your time. This was one product from the Africa, and you could see how the trends of greenness in this around this lake and this lake has been evolving because those wetland complexes around here, some of them are protected, and you could see the profile could increase or if decreases over time, which is a big challenge. And inside of the lake, if we have a high chlorophyll content in water, if the chlorophyll is increasing inside the water, it means that there should be some problem with the eutrophication. Also, the lake is being invaded by other plants. So let's remove this one and go try to put our annual surface reflectancy and go to annual geomat. Now you can see it is working well. This annual geomat, if I go back, it was produced by the aggregation of datasets over several months or years, and doing an average of each pixel and each band, and also trying to mask the crowds. And this annual geomat, we can choose, if we are monitoring the vegetation, let's choose NDVI. As you see, this is the NDVI for January 2020, and we can do a change detection in NDVI to see how it is behaving, behaving over years. So what you can do, we have a difference tool here. We can do the difference. And while doing this difference, you should have a date A and date B. Date A, we do have a Sentinel data for 2017. And date B should be January 2020. And we can take a given point around and choose the difference, which should be an NDVI, and try to do our change detection. And this map is showing how NDVI have been changing over time. In the dark red, it has been decreasing, while in dark blue, it has been increasing. And if we zoom in this water area, we could say it is almost around zero, no increase in NDVI in this water. So it means that it's a success story, and that's why our lake is classified as a mesotrophic lake based on the water quality. Otherwise, if NDVI was increasing, our lake should have been becoming a trophic in the area. So, but around the lake, we can see an increase in NDVI, and this might be due to conservation efforts, also to other green farms around. But Ken, I want to ask you one question. If you are familiar with the lake, why do we have a higher decrease of NDVI on the lake shores? Do we have some urbanization activities ongoing?
Thank you so much, Yusuf, for your question. What happens on the shores is that it dries up and it reflects like bare ground, which is similar to what I've observed in urbanization studies. So if you've been to one of the lakes, it dries, it becomes like a shiny roof, like iron sheets. It can reflect.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Ken. Actually, when I was preparing, I saw this one and said that might be a what they call another phenomenon. I didn't know. Thank you. And so from this DAF we come up. Once again, I can share story. Yes, my internet is still. So I can say NDVI change around Lake Tioga, and maybe I can say the lake remains mesotrophic, which is a good thing. I can save and share my story. Yes. Sorry. Oh, actually, I'm missing somewhere from my screen. Yes, now I'm there. So now I can share my story with you. The link there. Whenever you click, you can view the same phenomenon in the same conditions. I've been reviewing it and also try to draw some conclusion and discussions as a working team. So to wrap up, this is a way of doing some quick appreciation or overview analysis of a given phenomenon around the world, or especially in Africa, if we refer to the Africa data sets. And also, you don't want to analyze and print everything. You can create a story map and share it with the audience, and they could view, do some other analysis and share their feedback, and you can still working remotely but interactively. So this is what I had to show. I had planned to go also through CopMask if you allow, but the logic is the same. You can still analyze and share your results with the group. Thank you, Ken, and the group.
Thank you so much, Yosef. That was an overview of how you could look at the extent and also try to see change in vegetation around this lake. I think it's similar. I wish to ask, welcome, yes, Eileen has a very good question, please.
Thank you very much, Joseph, for your presentation. I appreciate that you identify. I also wondered about the outline of the lake. At least now I know what it means. So my question is, how did you access the difference tab? I was trying to do it on the map and I was unable to.
Actually, you mean this different times?
This difference tool, this orange. Here it's written set detection results, visualize and compare. Like, how do you access this?
Yes. Oh, thank you. So maybe I can go back.
Yes, thank you.
Exit. And here we have what on the right, the left side. In a minute, do you see my screen?
Yes, yes, I do.
We have what you call, we have some tools here, around here, down here. We have a compare tool. We can compare between different years. We can do a difference. So we use the difference tool. When you click on the difference tool, it starts showing you the way to go. And it's up to us to tell what difference do we need. Here we have a lot of what you choose. We can choose something. This is a device for vegetation, but we have a different water index for water, and so on. So we kept and device we were working on vegetation, and the output should be always NDVI. But also we should try to specify time A and time B. So you can see
how it
is 1st January 2020 and 1st January 2020. So the difference is meaningless because it will be zero, because the same date, the same year, the same data set. So if you click here, it gives us the way to the path to choose. If we choose January 2017, as we are using Sentinel dataset, this is the latest you have. It's for January 2017. You can choose it, and also try to determine the point for our analysis. So if you click on it, you can see querying position around here. You can see we are telling analyzers the MDVI change around this point you have chosen. It is displayed in red. And after doing all these operations, the genetic change detection is highlighted. So now it is functional. So if you click on it, it starts calculating. So it will take longer or less depending upon the internet connectivity. Did I answer your question?
Thank you very much. Yes, you have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Eileen, for your question. I think now from your side, you can try for some area. Any other question in the room? Or anyone who wants to share their screen?
Yeah, so even someone who wanna try another area could provide extra coordinates, and he could run and see how it looks like. This was chosen randomly, and I thought also should put something for Uganda, for Baganda one. And now, if someone from Kenya or Rwanda wanna try another area, so we can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can do it on our own and get back to the team.
Thank you so much. I can actually do the same for what you've shared. For now, these just so that you talked about the water. So from his presentation, there's also what we call the water observation from space, and also we have a notebook which does the water extent. And I've seen Dominic has raised his hand. Dominic?
Yes, thank you, Ken. Thank you, Joseph. Can you hear me, Joseph?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you for your presentation and giving us access to the platform. I have two questions. First one, how do we institutions access the data from the platform here? And then I see maybe Ken also may intervene in this. You're organizing sessions explaining the potential for this digital Earth platform. Maybe when, maybe you explain to me, because I was expecting to have a huge audience here. Maybe it's a short presentation about the platform for a set of people from defined institutions, or maybe you are planning to bring in a huge audience from academia, private sector, or public institutions to learn more about this digital Earth Africa platform. I'm asking this because we at UNESCO, we are connected to different institutions and even other scientists who may be interested in this. How do we go with this? Maybe the process, maybe it depends on the way you are organizing these sessions. So maybe that's my questions.
Thank you,
so
Dominic.
much, Dominic. Just before Joseph is bombarded with the question, is that this live session is being done every Wednesday for a number of users that have started using the platform. And this session is normally less than 1 hour, just to get feedback on some of the use cases or for us to share some updates. On the other side is that we are planning to set up separate sessions. Like Monday, we had a session with Makerere University where they invited us to present to their persons. So since now Dominic asked if we could set up a session for UNESCO and universities in Rwanda, we can have the session, and even the session will be more interesting because Joseph can present in Kinyarwanda, and I'll be just there to support him where required. And also, Joseph, you can continue with the explanation. Sorry.
Yes, actually, I don't have much explanation. It's first of all, the Africa data sets are free to everybody. What we require to have some skills, how to log in, to do the workshop on how to read the data sets. Otherwise, they're open to everybody. The second thing is that everyone is welcome on board, and so you remember I was trying to knock at your door last time, and you still have the time to discuss. But in whatever case, I agree with you that we need to go down to bring as many people as possible on the board, and we are preparing some presentations with the universities, starting from my own here, and also jumping to your office. I know you support very well, and that brought a promise to the Africa that you are supporting the use of EO datasets to monitor some world heritages and the biosphere reserve in the country, and that will be a big opportunity to bring more people, you yourself included, on board. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Joseph.
you.
And I know, Dominic, you'll connect with Joseph. We have contact of each other. And
Yes, since long ago.
yes, and
Yeah.
I know you are students together at ITC, together with Stella Mutai, who's an alumni of ITC. So you guys are doing very well.
Yes.
So just as a small recap to follow up on Joseph's question or the presentation was a small overview of some notebook which is there, which might be of use to someone in the call. So Joseph presented on the extent of the water. So that is the Digital Earth Africa platform for the maps. And now we have the sandbox, which is available at 16 and 32 GB. And this particular example is on the water extent, which Bako talked about, the example for Lake Chad that he is working on. And this extent is trying to give us the extent of the water over time, how many years, how things have changed. And this particular example is an example where I use the mean difference index for example of a water change. And this particular example, I was looking at an example of Lake Gas in Senegal, which is quite big. And this one has experienced a lot of changes over time. And it's the only source of water for Senegal, which Bako might be aware. And now looking at the various examples is that we've seen the change of the lake from a different time epochs. So we are looking at different times. You can see how the changes are, and it's a very good tool for engaging with the policymakers. And also you're able to generate a small animation, which you can actually use in presenting your work. Very good, engaging also with scientists. And finally, you can even get a graph of how things are looking on the ground. And you can also get a comparison between different dates. And finally, you can come up with this very amazing summary, which gives you the changes of the water in terms of the size. So I think we are just trying to showcase how Digital Earth Africa can be useful from the various examples where we have the notebooks, you have the beginner's guide, we have frequently used, and you have the data sets. We are doing this specifically because of Dr. Philip, who's joined us and is very new to the platform, and also Dominique, and I believe Amma and others. So these are very useful information for where you can get the data sets that we have, and also the various examples that we have, including use cases. And I wish to ask if there's any question before you move to something else. Yes, Eileen.
Last question. So can the NDVI be used to calculate, to monitor eutrophication? Because you had said it, yeah?
I think that's the case from my expert, Joseph, who's also working in a project called Africultures, and they're doing the same. Yes, Joseph?
Yes, actually, it could be one of the proxies for eutrophication, not the only one, but as the greenness is increasing in water, it means that the concentration in chlorophyll is increasing, and it is more reflecting the near infrared and red radiation. So it could be a proxy either for eutrophication or colonization by aquatic plants. So it's not the only proxy, but it could tell us something about the eutrophication in a lake.
Can we compare it with surface reflectance, maybe? Will it show some correlation?
Actually, they have to think twice and see with the surface reflectance. What do you mean?
Like the temperature or something like that.
So I think eutrophication doesn't have much to do with temperature. It has something to do with the concentration of nutrients in water, and the depth of the lake, and some lakes could become a bit darker with through eutrophication. Others, if they are darker, it means that they don't reflect so much, they don't have chlorophyll content. But if they're reflecting near infrared and red radiation, it means that their content contains much chlorophyll, maybe algae blooming or water hyacinth colonization and so on. So I think the surface reflectance also should concentrate, or should help us to extract one proxy that maybe if we could compare it with the water index, it means that water should absorb 100% of those radiation and then divide 100% of those radiation. That would relate to something to tell, but if we talk about temperature, I don't think it will say that much.
Ah, okay. Thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you so much, Eileen. And also thank you everybody for joining us. Is there any question before we end the session today?
Yeah, I have one question, Ken.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we have one, we have one area, one pastoral area in Niger, close to the desert. So we have a fire there. I don't know if it's due to the insecurity that we have in this area, but this information is very, very important, and we want to capture this fire through all of what we have in terms of satellite images. So it happened 3 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. Unfortunately, when I went on the platform, we haven't any available image for covering this area. But I want to know if it's possible to help us to capture this event and to share it to the national level. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I can share the coordinate with you.
Yes, please do. And you can also put in the group. And also you remember, once it's captured by Sentinel-2, we can capture the normalized band index ratio, which we can compute and see how that one is looks. And that case also sounds familiar with what we have in some of the mountains. Like there's always some fire around Mount Kenya, and we realize it's some farmers or some people who do farming in these areas. And there's a certain time that they actually do this. So some of this could be done by humans, but it can also we can also be guided how we can get more from these imageries. So I'll put in the chat, the WhatsApp, the one story which looks familiar with this, and it's also another similar case in South Africa for monitoring fire activity. So if you have the coordinates, we can explore this area, especially if there's a Sentinel-2 image captured of the same area or Sentinel-1.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a solution with Sentinel-1, but I'm not sure that the satellite was available during this period. I'm still trying to find a solution, but I will share the coordinate within the group.
Thank you so much, Paco. Any other question before we wind up today's session? And also, please feel free to share more information that you want a specific awareness session for a certain group, like the case of Dominic. So Dominic and Joseph will connect and do a session with University of Rwanda and other UNESCO colleagues in Rwanda, and so on and so on. And also we are happy to have our champion in the group, David from RCMRD, who's done a lot of work. And any updates, sir?
Hi everyone. Sorry, no update today, but I'm working on something for the GMS using the same notebook that we've been using for the Lake Baringo. I'm now looking at some of the lakes that have been expanding and shrinking in Ethiopia. So far, I've provided them with Abijata. It's another lake that is shrinking. Sorry, I have a bad flu. Sorry about my voice, just in case I'm croaking. So I'm trying to create some more. We have some session next week in Dar es Salaam where we hope to present some of this good work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. We shall overcome the challenges, and thank you also for supporting us. Stella, any comment from your side?
On my side, no, but maybe I've been trying to find how we can correlate the use of, especially, for example, if we do monitoring in flood risk assessment, how can we correlate that trend to migration patterns, especially in Africa? It's something that I'm still thinking about, or how we can import migration data and do the similar analysis in the DA platform. Yes. So if anyone has an idea, I'm still also thinking about it, to be welcomed.
Thank you so much, Stella. This gives us some homework to look at. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyone else before we wind up the session? Thank you everybody for joining us.